Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Avery. So cringy. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a walkthrough or voiceover of a drawing I did a very long time ago. I think it was about over the summer that I did it. It's called Under the Purple Moon. It's a drawing I did on Procreate using the iPad Pro and the Apple Pencil Generation 2. And this drawing was kind of just I guess I'd say creative vomit. I didn't really have much in mind other than a pose reference and a color scheme. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with the character itself or what I wanted it to look like or the mood and the vibe that I wanted to give off, but the way it came together, I was really impressed with myself. So I just wanted to talk through it and show you guys my process, what I did, so you can learn from it or you can give me advice. Give me advice. Hey, I need advice. But no, it came together really well. So it'll just be a voiceover. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's do it. Okay, so here I am just starting out my sketch. At this point, my anatomy skills were lacking, to say the least. And I'd say they still are. Anatomy is something everyone can work on. But I cheated a bit, used the sketch a little, just because I really had a hard time getting the form down that I wanted. And I didn't want to interrupt my process. So I just kind of pushed through and did what I could. So here I am just sketching in the dress and the pose that she's making, and I'm really just pushing and pulling some of the line work that I did because it was very sketchy line work, very like just thrown together. I didn't have an idea going into this, like I said before, so I was really just open to trying it out and not going for any final line art in the beginning. So I'm going in, putting in the facial expression shortly, kind of editing her hair to kind of fit a form that I wanted, because the original pose with the hair that I had before was very like the hair jutted out and not in a cute way. So I fixed that. Again, just going in and really touching up the line work, especially in the face, trying to give her an ethereal facial expression where she looked peaceful but also, I don't know, filled with kind of sorrow, and just kind of being lonesome. Facial expressions are not my forte, but I'm really trying to hone back in on that skill. During quarantine, I did the 100 Faces challenge, and I really elevated my expression skills, but that was, 2-3 years ago now, so time to get back into it. But yeah, so here I am going in. This is a pause because I clearly left my iPad on. Excuse me. I'm going in and just editing. Now I'm throwing in some color. I found the color scheme from a website, this website, because I don't know what it is on the top of my head. And really just found a color scheme that I could make my primary colors as, not like primary on the color wheel, but like the main colors of my piece. I have these like nice purples and pinks, these cool pinks that I really liked and enjoyed using. Warmed it up a bit with the shadow color there on her skin tone. I'm throwing in a lighter pink dress. I wanted it all to be pretty monochromatic and cohesive from her head to her toes. So I didn't want to go for a different colored dress. I felt like that would take away from the composition of it all. Going in with the colors of the face and her lips. Here I am actually changing the color of the dress to a purplier color, but it still does match in with that cohesiveness and creates a monochromatic tone just because the undertones of that purple match very well with the undertones of her skin. Going in now with the highlight. Here on the dress, I'm kind of trying to make it look wet and a bit silky, because once I get into the background, you'll see that she's in an ocean, and I wanted it to look like she had crawled out of the water or gotten splashed on her way into the water. Just trying to tell a little bit of a story. And I also thought that the highlights on the dress really made it pop out. Going in and really just refining some of those shadows, some of the shading, and adding in mixes of purple in her joints and her skin, just so you can see like things are reflecting off of her. Also wanted to get some blush there on her so it looked like blood was in her body and just kind of blushing around those areas. Yeah, going back, just doing very small, minute details. At this phase, I was feeling not quite satisfied with it, and it felt like it was almost done. So I was going in and just making small changes to things, hoping that it would rectify the things that I didn't like. It didn't necessarily do that, but it did absolutely kind of give the piece more of a refined look, which helps me. It helps me feel better about it in the end. Yeah, so going ahead and doing another pause because I left my iPad on again. But yeah, so at this point I'm just looking at it, I'm like, I don't really like it. It just seems boring. So I go in shortly and I just jump to the background. I'm not a background girl at all. I don't think I've ever had any formal training on how to do landscaping or backgrounds, but I go for it. I really do. I needed her in a scene, and I knew that much. And I wish I kind of had started with the background first, so it would have been easier for me, but I didn't, so that's fine. So I just throw in some dark blue. I know that I want the ocean to be dark and I want the sky to be dark too. So I do that and I create kind of a cast light behind her so she's not, her hair and her form isn't sinking into the darkness of the background. I keep it kind of simple at first because I'm not sure where I want to go with it. And here you can see I place her on a rock and I just kind of melt her into the background. I start to refine the rocks and render them in a way that looks kind of simple but also a little bit detailed. I find the best trick to do this is, I think it's called the flat block, and it's a brush I downloaded. If I can find that, I'll put the link here or I'll put it below. But it helps just kind of get refined edges while also making it simpler for you, and you don't have to do all the tiny little details of a rock or of certain things. And again, I have had no formal training on backgrounds or rocks, the ocean, water, clouds. All of that has come from straight from my brain and like Pinterest tutorials. So it took me a lot of push and pull to figure out how that would work. And I'm actually really proud of how the ocean water came out. It was, I don't think I've ever digitally drawn or painted water. When I was doing this, that's when it occurred to me. I've painted it once traditionally, but you know, that's something you have to practice. So it took a lot of pushing and pulling as well, but I did ultimately come to a place that I really did like. So against the rock here, I'm kind of creating a mist, just like a splashy, misty collision from the water and the rocks. Just added a lot of detail and added more dynamic elements to the piece. Just going in here, doing a little bit more finer details. I give her a glow because I wanted, again, her to look really ethereal, kind of supernatural. As you can tell, her eyes are all white, no pupil. But yeah, so we're coming to an end of this piece, adding in some stars now. Overall, this piece was a journey, but I felt pretty confident going through all the way. There was a point where I was like, oh, it's not coming out how I'd like it to, but I definitely figure out how to push and pull the elements to my liking. Yeah, so here I'm just putting in final details. I added some length to her hair. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this piece. I enjoyed making it for you all. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!